Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Cara DeFalco.
And I'm Mike Favetta.
Well, the Asbestos City is a documentary that delves into the resilience of Manville, New Jersey during Hurricane Ida in 2021. Now, despite economic challenges, historical tragedies, the borough has remained steadfast, embodying community values, American pride, and a rich cultural history. Joining us now is the film's producer, Joe Devito. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on. If you hear a little commotion in the background at times, it's because I'm currently in Immaculata High School in my classroom studio. So
Nice. Okay.
That's great. So, Joe, can you tell us what inspired you to create the Asbestos City and how it captures the essence of small town America in Manville?
sure. Well, what really inspired me is that I teach what I do professionally, and I wanted to do a human story about the town in which I live. I like to say I married into Manville because my wife is a third generation Manville resident. And I always heard from her the stories over the years about the amazing history and sad history and the cyclical floods that have occurred over the past 90 years since its incorporation in 1929. So I felt it was important to show how it affects people on a face-to-face level. I mean, so often, and this is not a problem that's unique to Manville. There are so many towns in New Jersey that are affected now that and historically were not by flooding. And through my research, I've found that it really is a product of a lot of overdevelopment and impervious cover in the state. So what really inspired me was because I was a concerned citizen of my hometown. I love the story, I love the people, and I thought it was an important thing to showcase because we really do need help. There are people in Manville right now that are still homeless 3 years later after Hurricane Ida. So,
Joe, and I'm going to go off the script a little bit here just because you've touched on something that Mike and I talk about often, particularly on this show, which is, flooding and the state of climate change in New Jersey and what can be done about it. In your opinion,
right.
as a resident, what do you think or what would you like to see the state do about this? I mean, I just, after Sandy, when I saw people's homes wash into the bay, and I mean, there was really just nothing that could be done, in terms of without completely rebuilding the building. I really said, listen, those properties should be bought back at market value by the state and turned into green space. I mean, clearly they're not a safe place to live anymore. What do you think should be done?
Well, this really is a multi-layered problem because, first of all, not only do you have overdevelopment, and yes, the climate does change, yes, but through my research, I've found that, really what needs to happen is that we need more state aid. We need more people to get involved in stormwater management because if we don't, and all of these things go unchecked, these floods are just going to continue to occur. And there are a lot of towns in New Jersey that are forgotten. And Manville is only 2 square miles. But if they tear down the houses that are in the floodplain and they don't purchase them back at their value, and they don't allow the residents to elevate their homes, then the tax burden is just shifted to the other residents. And that's, in my opinion, the best way to kill a town. So something needs to be done because there are people that are suffering still. And, the state aid, that's our tax money.
Right.
And we need to be allocated more.
I thank you for that. So you have received numerous awards for your filmmaking and your teaching. What makes the Asbestos City different, and what's the message that you hope viewers take away from it?
Oh, that's the core. I really hope that anyone that sees it knows that I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I got more involved in the town. After the film was completed, I was elected councilman of Manville because through my research and meeting people, I saw how important it was to maintain a successful community. So I hope people take away the story of that and that they can do something, maybe not at that level, but get involved in your local community. You know, talk to your neighbors. And I think that's really the most important message, that no matter where you're from, this story is relatable. It's the middle class that is continuing to be disparaged.
And Joe, this is obviously such a passion project for you, and you included some former students and colleagues from Immaculata High School.
Yes,
How did
yes.
that enhance the making of the Asbestos City?
Well, it made it a community endeavor. It really was a beautiful collaborative project, because what I do here at Immaculata High School in Somerville is every day, every day I'm doing project-based learning. And when I share the experiences of what I do professionally with my students here, it really brings that professional level knowledge to the classroom. And I'm really proud of that.
And Joe, you mentioned wanting to raise awareness and to bring about change in stormwater management. How do you hope the Asbestos City will help contribute to that effort?
We need the governor to see this film. We need anyone and everyone to get their eyes on this film and to see the face-to-face trauma that happens in small town America. And we need to stop having these empty promises. President Biden came to Manville and nothing happened. Nothing happened. So I think there needs to be more engagement from the community. Say, hey, we're here. Come on down. Come and see Manville.
Amazing. Joe, thank you so much for joining us this morning and for your film, and we're looking forward to seeing it. The film, again, is The Asbestos City. Joe Devito, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Fascinating stuff. Mike, that is right up your alley.
Well, it sheds a light on a very important issue, and that is we always see the aerials or the aftermaths of floods along that area, Bound Brook, along the Raritan River, and there in Manville, and yet there's sometimes no human element. And I think that's what this movie is really designed to show, and with the passion that clearly Joe has for it, I think it'll really resonate with the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. He made a lot of good points right there, and very interesting just to see it. I don't. It's like I know of Manville, but when he said it's only 2 square miles, it's like, wow, I didn't even realize what a small community it is, and then exactly that there would still be people without their homes and things like that, all these years later. So it's really something to see.
Yeah, right down 202 and 206 here in New Jersey.
All right. Well, next we are going to learn about a very special event, Dom's Pasta Party in Cumberland County.